town of Keswick sits in one of the most beautiful parts of the UK, but there's trouble in paradise. Summer is coming and so are the tourists, but local businesses cannot get the people they need. In almost every other window, there are signs of distress.
Recruitment, absolute nightmare.
Stephen Dixon runs 2 businesses. He had to close this restaurant in order to keep his pub open. He has 6 vacancies he can't fill.
It's in 20 plus years, never known it this bad. And if I could point my finger at where they all have gone, I'll go and find them.
Have you tried raising pay?
We've raised pay by about 10 to 15%, and we've still got the same problem. There's still a lack of people.
One reason Stephen is struggling is during the pandemic, 500,000 people left the labour force.
There's days when I can't get out of bed.
Yvonne Alder is one of them. She used to work in a call centre, but she caught COVID 2 years ago and still hasn't fully recovered.
I want to work. In fact, I never thought I'd have a day when I wasn't working. I've never, ever not worked. And you don't know when you're going to be able to get back on the ladder of working, so to speak. It's incredibly difficult.
There are an abundance of vacancies in the economy and unemployment is at a near record low. These sound like good things, but the Bank of England is worried. Its concern is that if people respond to much higher prices by asking for much higher pay, then inflation will start to feed itself, and a really bad problem could get a whole lot worse. On Thursday, the Bank of England is expected to increase interest rates again. This former deputy governor at the bank warns that unemployment may need to rise to keep inflation pressures in check.
If we're lucky, we might get away with interest rates rising to 2, maybe 2.5%. But it's not beyond the bounds of possibility that if inflation is more ingrained into the system, that interest rates might have to rise rather more than that.
Do you think the Bank of England can bring inflation back under control without triggering a recession?
It will be difficult for them to steer that course.
The UK is experiencing rampant inflation and feeble economic growth. That's not a happy combination. The clamour for people in Keswick may subside quickly in the months ahead. The recovery from the pandemic ran out of steam months ago, but you'd never know it here. There are across the country 500,000 more vacancies in the economy, Mary, than there were before the coronavirus outbreak began. The labour market is running hot and the Bank of England is expected to take steps to cool things down. Higher interest rates will intensify the squeeze on living standards, will likely lead to jobs being lost, but the bank thinks these are prices worth paying to tame inflation.